in late spring, and late spring is it's a great time. Spring is always a wonderful time, and everybody's always excited to get out. But the problem with spring is the temperature goes like this, and correlating with that, the snow melt goes like this, and our clarity, water temperature, everything kind of goes in roller coasters. And we're out here, I think we didn't get started until 1 o'clock this afternoon. We weren't in a rush to get out here because the weather pattern had just changed. It was cold overnight. We knew it would be sunny and warm during the day, but we also knew it was going to take some time for the bugs to get going, the water temperature to increase, and for anything to show. We got out here, we said, you know what, let's just come across, let's set up, look at the boulders, look at the seams, the pockets, everything like that, all around that stuff. Let's have a bite to eat because hadn't eaten since breakfast. And let's just look. And not much in the way of bugs, only a few rises. So now we thought, well, there's squallow stoneflies hatching, there's a few March browns hatching. So we're going to employ just a simple dropper setup, just a little stimulator kind of thing, and about 20 inches below that we're just going to do kind of a soft hackle, bead-headed, kind of a March brown emerger nymph. And we're just going to show what it looks like to prospect the seams and the pockets as we work our way upstream from a shoreline side, walk and wade, casting, presenting, fishing perspective. And hopefully as I go up, I should hopefully be able to move a couple fish. My guess is probably 2/3 on the nymph and maybe 1/3 on the dry.
So Dave's starting just inside between those two boulders and the bank because there's a seam there and it's worth a shot. There's some really nice in-stream rocks on the bottom. Anywhere that a trout could hold could easily be there. And he's going to start to work even that middle slot. Believe it or not, there's actually a seam that comes between those two rocks. And he'll slowly start to work his way out to the main seam. You can see he deliberately placed that fly right at the very head of the rock and where the seam starts to form. So now he's starting to work the pillow. The pillow is where that water kind of backs up right on the top side of those two boulders. And he's just getting his fly in there. And, you know, giving it the odd twitch because obviously we got squallows out here and they're moving around. There's not a lot of them, but it's the start of them. So underneath where Dave just put his fly, underneath the surface is a series of some larger boulders, and right off of there is that nice deep green water where a good brown could be holding.
Gotta be somebody right here. I want there to be anyway.
No kidding, hey?
I'm just gonna drape this cast right over top of the rock.
Okay.
And I'll just see what happens here.
Yeah, that pillow off left there.
Yeah, I'll go further up. There's gotta be somebody in this seam pocket up here.
Yeah, exactly. There's just a classic seam with a perfect amount of flow, and Dave's just gonna keep working up that. You know, each cast maybe going upstream a couple feet at a time. And he's not going to forget about, you can see there's a bit of a subtle break there right above those two boulders and just downstream of that kind of shark fin rock. And he's going to work in there.
How about that?
You think that would do it?
I'm going to go off the seam of that rock here.
Okay.
Get my footing first.
Oh yeah, there it is.
He was there.
He certainly was.
Yeah. Right off that seam in the trough.
Yep. Just on the outer edge of that submerged rock.
So instead of going straight back at him, I'm going to work over here a few casts, and then I'll go back over and see if I can get a take.
Yep. Rest it briefly. Doesn't hurt to rest it a little bit. Nothing like a headwind right at you, hey?
Yeah.
Awesome. Such a great drop-off point, eh? In this left seam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny because we got a mic. I'd say in this wind, I try to minimize the number of false casts.
So you don't get owned by the wind. So a fish just rose off this left side of this seam, right off the bank, right in that foam pocket. Decent rise, so Dave's just going for it. I would say that he rose right in the heart of that foam.
Yeah, I should be.
Yeah, there you are. That should be the spot. Yep. Nice. Awesome, man.
He might pop. He hammered whatever he was eating. It had to be a squala.
Yes.
Nice brownie.
Yeah, beautiful.
I think something just moved in here. I don't know.
Right in that calm bit, hey?
Yeah.
Kind of the back eddy. Oh yeah. Oh, what a take.
Yeah.
I saw it coming for it, eh?
It's when you were repositioning the camera, I heard a set of lips and I thought, really?
Yeah.
And obviously he's just in that backwater cycling around looking for bugs. Nice take.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Yep. Beauty. That's a nice fish, hey?
Beautiful fish. And just like I say, I just heard the smacky of the lips and it was like, okay, somewhere over there, and it was just smack in the middle.
Perfect.
Okay, I'm gonna keep going up here.
So Dave's gonna be working kind of a 4 square here. He's got the rock, the boulder that's right in front of him that his rod is hanging over top of. And then upstream along that whole seam is 3 rocks together, and then off towards the bank is another big boulder. And it's kind of almost a 4 square zone, and he's going to be working up and out, and then again over and up and out and along that. And that's the whole sort of area that he's working. So Dave's going back out to work the seam above the shark rock there. There's lots of just perfect current there. There's a bit of a break as well. So, you know, there's sort of a number of different seams, to be so honest with you. Another fish just rose, smaller fish further upstream of you. Quite a ways up in that next foam line.
Okay.
Yeah, the seam that comes off that cluster of 3 rocks.
Okay. Deeper than I thought.
Oh yeah, and there's a fish.
Gotta be a rainbow. Come on, little buddy. There we go. Gotta be a whitefish, that one.
And he's off, eh?
Yeah.
Right
Oh,
on.
that's a good head up there still.
Okay, you saw it go again?
The neat thing is, even though we've done this a ton of times together, I was working the 4 square like Amelia was saying, and as I was working out along that upstream seam, I was watching this fish, this good 20-inch brown, just pop, pop, pop. I was like, okay, I've got to get to there. We got to get it before something changes in the environment. Brought Amelia up here. She had to come out from shore, wanted to get the slow motion eat right off that rock. And of course, what's the fish do? But drops. It was above the point of that rock, and it dropped into this little bucket just downstream of the rock. And I'm like, do you see it? And Amelia's the point of the rock, and I'm going. So in the spur of the moment, communication is huge, and that's probably a little bit out of focus on the eat. The point is, as we work up this boulder garden, it's seam, well, bucket, seam, pillow, bucket, seam, pillow, with a bunch of troughs in between.
So sometimes it just takes more than one cast in the same zone, because when conditions are cold and the bugs aren't really going hard, those fish aren't really keyed into the top yet. So it just takes that extra cast. and there you go. Awesome, hey?
There we go. All right. Isn't that neat? Yeah, just that choppy water right at the top of the run, and just kind of a natural green bucket with kind of a dancey water. Not big dancey water, just perfect dancey water right along the seam, and just a nice cast right up there. So you were right. You know, I think that was my third cast into that spot. It only shows one on camera, but the first one I didn't get anything. Second cast I had a downstream take and I missed it, so we rested it for 2 minutes while you set up the camera, and well, there you go. So the neat thing about this is clearly these fish have been on stoneflies for a while. Squallows are out, not lots of them. Again, that's a function of cold weather. So I've probably gone through the winter stonefly series. There's 3 or 4, you know, tiny winter black, late winter black, that kind of stuff. And those evolve into, you know, those give way to squallows later in the spring. And that's what's gone on here. So the fish have obviously been on them. I thought we were gonna get a third on dry, 2/3 on nymph. No, I think we've moved 9 or 10 fish in this box, and they've all been on the dry fly. Tough problem, I know. But so all I've done is gone double dry fly. And those are, whatever that is, 14 inches, 12, 14 inches apart. Kind of a bigger profile deer wing thing. And then a smaller profile kind of black and grizzly hackle poly wing, a little bit smaller. And the setup today is only a 9-foot leader because it's into a stiff head breeze. It's 9 foot down to 3X. The water it's clear to about 5 feet, but it's got a really thick, heavy suspended silt. So 3X to both dry flies is really what I'm trying to say. So it's a 5X, or should I say it's a 5-weight rod because of the headwind. Weight forward line just to give it that quick turnover because it's shorter casts. Short leader, 9 foot again, just to cut through that wind and let everything lay out.